Revenge Story with Anjo.
The stage lights glared down on Elena Brooks, 29, as she stood alone behind the sleek podium. Cameras flashed from every corner of the ballroom. Her heart raced, her smile steady. The launch of Brooks Media, her lifelong dream. Rows of guests leaned forward with anticipation, but 5 empty seats caught her eye in the front row. She'd reserved them anyway. Her parents' names and her brother's, handwritten on little white cards. She had hoped, foolishly, that this time they might come. A reporter raised a hand. "Miss Brooks, who inspired you to start your company?" Elena reached for the water glass, her fingers trembling slightly. The question hung in the air, waiting. "Maybe," she said softly, "it came from knowing what it feels like to be forgotten." The room fell silent. Cameras clicked furiously, capturing the moment her professional mask cracked just enough to reveal the truth beneath. At 12, Elena had sat cross-legged on her bedroom floor, clutching a plastic toy microphone she bought after saving 3 weeks' allowance. It didn't even work. But when she spoke into it, she imagined her voice traveling to people who wanted to hear it. "Breaking news," she'd whisper to her stuffed animals, "dreams come true if you work hard enough." Downstairs, her father's booming voice echoed. "Did you see that catch? That's my boy." The sound of her brother Ryan's football game highlights filled the house. Her mother opened the door slightly, pressing a finger to her lips. "Honey, can you keep it down? Your brother's game film is on." Elena lowered her toy mic. Her mother smiled weakly. "Maybe later, okay?" But later never came. It never did. Ryan's trophies lined the hallway. His jerseys hung in glass frames. Elena's debate ribbons and writing awards were packed into drawers. When she once asked her father why he never attended her school competitions, he ruffled her hair. "Ryan carries the Brooks name, sweetheart. You're lucky, no pressure on you." Lucky. That word stayed in her chest like a bruise. By her senior year, Elena knew exactly what she wanted: to study journalism. She circled the University of Manchester's broadcasting program brochure and read, "Dad, this is where I want to go," she'd said over breakfast. He barely looked up from his newspaper. "You'll starve with that degree. Study business." Her mother nodded. "Something practical, darling." Elena applied anyway. Got in, partial scholarship. When she showed her parents the financial gap, her father sighed. £20,000 for talking on camera? No, love. We can't waste money on hobbies. Her mother added softly, "Your brother's got training camp soon." And just like that, her dream dimmed. She enrolled in community college instead, working late shifts at a cafe. At night, she'd record her first podcast using secondhand gear. "If no one will listen to me," she whispered into the mic, "I'll find those who will." 6 years later, 50 million listeners tuned in every month. And now, as she stood under the glittering lights of her launch event, the same girl who once whispered to toys now spoke to the world. Later that night, Elena worked the closing shift at the same cafe she'd once scrubbed floors in. "Half a million listeners, huh?" asked Mara, her boss, counting the day's earnings. "Your folks must be proud." Elena froze, then shrugged. "They don't really know." "What do you mean, they don't know?" Mara frowned. "They're busy," Elena said quietly. "Ryan's final football season. They travel every weekend." When she once sent them a link to her chart-topping episode, her mother replied 3 days later, "That's nice, honey. Nothing more." Mara rested a hand on her shoulder. "Their loss, love. The world's listening. That's what counts." Elena smiled faintly, unsure she believed it. 3 weeks later, she drove home for Thanksgiving. The Brooks family home smelled like sage and turkey. "There she is," Uncle Martin boomed. "The one with that little radio hobby." "Podcast," she corrected automatically. Her father clapped her back. "She's got a few listeners now, don't you, Lena?" "A few," she murmured, 500,000 and counting." She climbed the stairs to her old bedroom and froze. Her bed was gone, replaced by glass display cases filled with Ryan's trophies. "Mom," she called. Her mother turned, feather duster in hand. "Oh, you found it." "We turned your room into Ryan's trophy space." Isn't it wonderful? Elena's chest tightened. Where's my stuff? In boxes in the garage, dear. You've got your own place now. Downstairs, everyone gathered around Ryan as he described his latest game. NFL scouts are watching, can you believe it? Her father said proudly, raising his glass. Finally, a Brooks legacy. Elena stared at her untouched water. No one noticed. After dinner, she escaped to the garage. Among the dusty boxes labeled Elena, she found her old writing awards, bent and creased. Her phone buzzed, an email from Westfield Media Group, offering her a national podcast deal. She needed a co-signer. She walked back inside. Dad, can we talk? She asked. It's about an opportunity. He frowned. Make it quick. Game's on. She explained the deal, the growth, the potential, the risk. I just need you to co-sign the lease. Not money, just... He interrupted. You want me to risk my credit for this internet show? You think this is a real job? It is, she said firmly. I have 500,000 listeners.
He scoffed.
Ryan's got real prospects. You've got a hobby. That night, she sat in her old room, now Ryan's shrine, recording a voice note on her phone. This is what invisibility sounds like, she whispered. When the people who should see you don't. She moved back to her flat in London and signed the contract under her own name. No co-signer. Just her. Professor Lewis from college called the next day. I always knew you had something special in you, Elena. Mara offered her cafe's storage room as a temporary studio. No rent till you're stable, she said. For once, Elena felt seen. Soon, she signed her first major advertising deal. Then another. When she hit 1 million monthly listeners, she didn't tell her family. She didn't need to, or so she told herself. That Christmas, the Brooks family celebrated Ryan's NFL tryouts. Her father raised his glass. To Ryan, the pride of our family. No one mentioned Elena's success. Her phone buzzed, her producer. 1 million downloads. She smiled quietly, letting the moment pass. Later, in the kitchen, her mother approached. Darling, maybe don't mention your work tonight. Ryan needs this spotlight. When's my turn? Elena asked softly. Her mother sighed. You know your father's views on our real careers. Elena nodded.
Right.
Real careers. Aunt Margaret leaned over dessert. Still doing that little radio thing? It's a podcast, Elena replied. We just reached. Did you hear Ryan might sign with the Cowboys? Her aunt interrupted. Elena smiled thinly. Of course. 2 weeks later, Elena finalized her biggest step yet, the official launch of Brooks Media Limited, a network of women-led podcasts headquartered in London. She sent her parents a heartfelt email. This means everything to me. Please come. 6 days passed. The morning of the launch, a message arrived.
Sorry, love.
Ryan's playoff tonight. Good luck with your thing. Elena stared at it for a long time before setting her phone down. That night, the ballroom glittered as she spoke before hundreds. The same question returned from a journalist. Who inspired you? Maybe, she said, her voice steady. It came from knowing what it feels like to be forgotten. The next morning, her father's call came sharp and angry. Are you trying to embarrass us? Your brother's teammates saw your quote. If you feel embarrassed, she said calmly, maybe there's a reason. You think people care about your little shows? This isn't football, Elena. This isn't real. Millions care, she replied. Just not you. The clip went viral. Female CEO speaks truth about family neglect read one headline. Elena's following doubled overnight. Her team celebrated. They see you now, said Lucia, her operations head. Elena smiled. I don't need them to. But deep down, a small part of her still wished they did. 6 months later, she landed on the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30. The caption, Elena Brooks, the voice redefining digital storytelling. Then an email appeared, her father. We're proud of you, love. By the way, Ryan's struggling. Could you send £2,000 monthly to help? Family should help family, right? Elena stared at the screen. Warmth drained to cold steel. She replied politely, but offered no money. His response came within hours. Did you see the part about Ryan's bills? Then another. Then 5 more. She ignored them all. A week later, her receptionist buzzed. Your brother's here. Ryan entered, shoulders slumped but arrogance intact. Nice office. Must be nice. What do you need, Ryan? Dad's emails. You've been ignoring them. I answered once. Not about what matters. You're rich now, family helps family. Elena kept her voice level. When I worked double shifts, where were you? That's different, he muttered.
How?
You're a girl. The words cut deep, but she didn't flinch. You're right. A girl who built everything you see. She opened the door. We're done. Soon after, her father began calling advertisers, hinting she was unstable. Her team rallied. They're trying to scare you, Lucia said. Elena exhaled. Then we make noise louder than their silence. That week, her mother called quietly. I'm sorry we missed your launch, she said. Elena's throat tightened. You could have been there. Her mother hesitated. Was it really that bad growing up? Elena's laugh was soft, tired. You tell me. Silence stretched. We did our best, her mother said. Your best was for Ryan, Elena replied. Goodbye, Mum. Months later, her father texted, This isn't how Brooks behave. She replied, Then I'll be a Brooks on my own terms. And blocked them all. The silence that followed felt like peace. 3 years later, Elena woke in her London apartment, sunlight painting gold across her awards. 50 million downloads. 15 employees. No family photos on the walls. Just the life she built herself. Then a new email. From Tyler Brooks, her nephew. Dear Aunt Elena, he wrote. I listened to your podcast about invisible daughters. I think I understand why you don't talk to Dad. I want to be different.
Can we meet?
When they met at a cafe, he handed her a small box. Inside was a cracked toy microphone with EB scratched on the side. Mum found this, he said. It's yours. Elena smiled through tears. Thank you. How did you know your voice mattered when no one listened, he asked. She reached across the table. I didn't. I just knew I'd disappear if I didn't use it. Tyler grinned. Then I'll start recording too. Elena held the old microphone close. That's the secret, she whispered. The cycle ends when someone chooses to listen.